I've got my top three Dynasty Rebuild targets ready for you right now. Going to lay out why I'm targeting these players in my Dynasty leagues and why I think they're the perfect targets for you to go get right now at their age and their situations. Let's get straight to it.
Welcome to the FF Face-Off, where fantasy football is debated.
My first Dynasty Rebuild target is going to be George Pickens. I really like George Pickens' move from the Pittsburgh Steelers, now finds his way with the Dallas Cowboys. Coming off a rough year, not exactly the best play you've seen from him, but it's about the opportunity. He is only 24 years old, going into a contract year in Dallas. He finds himself in a pass heavy offense. We have seen Dak Prescott, when he plays an entire year, he has a ton of fantasy production. Playing opposite of CD Lamb, it takes some pressure off of George Pickens to be the guy. At 11.75 points per game last year, I can see an uptick in that going forward because he had poor quarterback play and was on a bad offense last year. Like I said, this Dallas Cowboys offense is going to be a lot better than he was in Pittsburgh, and I think he's going to have a pass-friendly offense that will lead to fantasy points. And being only 24 years old, he's going to have fantasy viability for you for several years to come. He's a player right now that you can find in certain leagues where he is going at an early second round pick. I've seen him go around a mid second round pick as well. I like that value. If I'm a rebuilding team and I'm trying to bolster my wide receiver room, this is a target I have. Go see what kind of team he's on right now. If it's on a rebuilding team or maybe on a competing team, you might be able to posture yourself to get him on your roster and kind of get some youth and add some production for your team long term, because I think that's the play we're making if we're talking about rebuilding a dynasty team. And George Pickens is absolutely a player you want to use that for. Now, my next dynasty buy is actually going to be Jordan Addison. And this is mainly due to the fact that right now you can buy him with the suspension dip. Maybe he's on a competing team and someone who's possibly not going to have him for the first 3 weeks of the year. He's got an early buy, so this is a situation that I'm going to capitalize on. He is only 23 years old. He is in an absolute pass-heavy offense with a fantastic play caller in Kevin O'Connell. We'll see what happens with J.J. McCarthy. Personally, I'm a believer there, but I do think that Addison has proven enough already. I mean, he's averaged 14 points per game this past season. Like I said, he's only 23. He's in a really, really good offense. So I think long-term, he's going to have a ton of value for your team going forward. Finishing as wide receiver 20 this past year. The year before that, wide receiver 21. He's got a ton of targets, 108 his rookie year, 99 this past season, has scored touchdowns each of those years, 10 and 9 respectively. I like his value going forward. I think he's another player that you can go and add right now. His value is kind of floating around a late first, and he might be another player where if you're an aging roster and you're in this rebuild, it might be a great time to tear off a guy like maybe T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, one of these older wide receivers where you can go and get Jordan Addison and a plus on top to kind of give your team some more depth, some more assets, and some more opportunities to chase to rebuild these rosters. I think Addison is another one that is a great situation. The tear down is going to be dependent on what your roster is, but I think that's the best method to do it. And again, it's a cheap ad. It's a guy who has wide receiver 2 safe upside and could find him way a little bit better if, this offense progressives, if JJ McCarthy really turns into the guy. I like the opportunity for Jordan Addison going forward. Now let's talk about my last dynasty buy, and that's going to be Breece Hall. Yes, a running back. I know it's not typical for a dynasty rebuild, but I think this is the perfect opportunity to go and capitalize on him. Being only 24 years old, he is in a contract year as well. Fields has a ton of check down opportunities and has a high check down rate. What we know about Breece Hall is he's fantastic out of the backfield catching the ball. I mean, last year he had 76 targets with 57 receptions. The year before that, 95 targets with 76 receptions. I really like the opportunity for him. The carries, he has not eclipsed 1,000 yards yet, but I do think that is coming in his future. The offensive line play in New York should be a little bit better. I like the opportunity for Breece Hall going forward. I think he's another one of those players that you can go and buy because for whatever reason, people are kind of down and out on him right now. The dip with him, some people believe in Braylon Allen. He has those weird tweets where he's saying he hasn't been proven as the guy with the current management. But for me, he's a top 10 dynasty running back, and I'm absolutely going to buy him right now if I can. Value kind of floating around a first and 2 seconds. This might be a great opportunity if you have a Saquon Barkley where you can tear off of him. Maybe you have another older running back or a guy like Chase Brown, maybe Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, who is set up to be a bell cow this season. Maybe you get a little bit of a hesitation from the Breece Hall manager. It's something I would go check in on right now, because that's a guy I want long-term and going forward. Again, he's only 24. Whether he's still with the Jets or finds himself on a new team, I think he's got plenty of opportunities to be a big-time running back as we move forward. But those are my top 3 dynasty buys, so be sure to let us know in the comments who you're buying and what you have going on with your dynasty teams. If you need help, be sure to go and jump into our Discord. Link will be in the description. Also, we have our Patreon, which gives you complete access to my dynasty rankings and all the other dynasty rankings for those here with the Face Off Sports Network. But we'll catch you in the next one.